How you doing? I'm Andrew Chambers. I'm a senior game designer on World of Warcraft.
And I'm Michael Bybee, a senior producer on World of Warcraft.
For the last little while, my team and I have been working on Warfronts, a brand new feature coming in World of Warcraft, and we're here to talk to you about it today.
Warfronts is a 20-player PvE experience where you take your faction, Horde or Alliance, build up an army, and wreck the enemy base.
It's awesome. You come in on an airship, you'll leap off and parachute down at the battle, capture a base, you take over resource locations like a lumber mill and an iron mine, which feed into your efforts to raise your base, capture the battlefield, fight next to this huge army, and inevitably siege and destroy the gates of the enemy base, then charge in and defeat the enemy commander.
So in a Warfront, I can earn lumber and iron, but what can I spend it on?
Well, one of the first things you're going to be building is your base. And your base is made up of a number of different buildings. You start with your town hall, and that gives you the ability to send peons out to collect iron. From there, you progress on to your barracks. Your barracks allows you to train things like, on the Alliance side, footmen and riflemen. And as you progress in taking different points and move through the Warfront, you also get access to the armory. At the armory, you can do all this research to improve your troops' weapons and armor. Cool thing is, like, when you actually do this, all their armor actually upgrades, right? Like, one of the guys on the team just went bonkers with, like, actually making all their armor upgrade visually, and it looks fantastic. You also get access to the Altar of Kings. It harkens really closely back to the Warcraft 3 days. As a player, you can go there, and just like at the Armory, you get to give your units more combat power. At the Altar of Kings, you get to give yourself combat power. Eventually, you'll get access to build the workshop, and the workshop is where you can build siege engines from. Those siege engines do siege damage. The siege damage is what you use in order to destroy the gates of Argorak, the enemy base, and make your final assault.
We should talk about troops. You guys spent a lot of time just trying to figure out exactly which troops made the most sense, what did what to who. I remember getting polymorphed a lot during this time as we were trying out different things, and I think we ended up in a really great place. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the ones you like the most, how you think it's come together, and what players can expect from the troops and Warfronts? Yeah,
troops were a really interesting challenge. Like, how do you present this battle combat element into the battlefield without negating a player's contribution, right? Like, we want to make sure that players still feel like they're able to use all their abilities and that they stand out. But the troops are this thing which give weight to the battle, right? They give volume to it. When you run up to an area and there's no troops fighting there, it feels very lonely because there's all these enemy troops there. Fortunately, we can have all these troops come up and then start charging over the hill behind you. So it was an interesting balance. We tried a number of different things to try and give troops meaning. One of those was whenever you get to a capture location, the enemy bosses have special abilities, which will prefer to target troops first. If there's no troops there, they'll target players, and they're pretty nasty. With Warfronts, we had this unique experience where, or unique opportunity even, where we have so many units on the field. In fact, we even built this brand new AI system. We call it the Battle Brain. And what it does is it allows units to, in typical World of Warcraft, when there's a lot of units together, they all tend to just hop on and try and attack one guy. We wanted to make sure that with all the units that we have on the battlefield, they don't just look really dumb. So what we did is we built this AI system where they spread out. So what you end up with is kind of like a scene from, a large-scale movie where all these units are flooding out and attacking each other on this large battlefield. It's really cool.
You're out on the battlefield, you're fighting against other troops, but what else are you doing?
You're doing loads of different things. We actually wanted to make sure that, so it's a large experience. There's 20 players, all of the same faction fighting in this PvE experience. We wanted to make sure that everyone had a variety of different things that they could engage in. Probably the first and foremost that most players will engage in is capturing locations. Across the battlefield, there are a number of key points, some somewhat more important than others, but all have value associated with them. By capturing those points, it allows your army to flood out, and it gives you a variety of other benefits. In order to capture those points, all of the locations have an enemy commander there, in addition to a boatload of other troops. So you need to go there, probably with a group, take out as much of the support as possible, and then engage in the commander. He presents somewhat of an interesting challenge. So when you beat him, the flag becomes capturable. You click on your flag, you have to channel for a little bit, hope that no one comes in and hits you, and then you take the point. When you do take the point, reinforcements flood in. Depending on the location, you might get actual benefits in your troop makeup. You can have footmen and riflemen and priests and knights, somewhat similar to like Warcraft 3. It's this great little throwback. It's nice. A number of what we call events spawn in the world that are randomized each and every time. So, for example, it'll be fighting, it'll be the standard kind of Warfront, and all of a sudden, Fosric shows up. He's this giant elemental who's patrolling the land. He's actually from Arathi, and if you go up and you manage to beat him, it'll do you a deed. He'll say, hey, go attack Circle for me, or go attack the gates of Stromgarde for me. It's actually this cool moment. Those are all random, so when players go in there, they'll have a different experience. So Bybee, the whole point of the Warfront, seemingly thus far, is to get and take Valakor Pass so you can destroy the gates, right, of this enemy base. What's waiting on the other side?
If I'm Horde and I just captured Valakor Pass, I bring down the gates of Stromgarde, and there is an enemy commander waiting on the other side. Now, the Alliance commander could be Muradin, Turalian, or Daneth Trollbane making a comeback, trying to reclaim Stromgarde for his people.
Yeah.
If I'm Horde, I actually have one of 3 commanders in my base, Lady Liadrin, Eitrig, or Rokan.
Each of the commanders has their own special troop associated with them. So, for Muradin, it's the Ironforge Guard and these Shadow Weavers with the gigantic dark iron golems that are rolling around. When you're fighting Trollbane, obviously there's all the Stromgarde Spellweavers. When you're fighting Turalian, there's light forged everything all over the place, paladins and some crazy stuff. It really presents a different landscape to the battle each time you do it. Each commander is a 20-person raid encounter. It's not necessarily something that I think players are going to lose to a lot. I do think it's a great end capper to the experience.
Battle for Azeroth has a ton of incredibly cool features in it, but Warfronts is something unlike anything else.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it, obviously, but I'm also really glad that we had the chance to chat with you guys today, share some of the history behind the feature, talk about things we don't often get to talk about with you guys. I think this is a great opportunity, and I had a lot of fun. Thanks, and I look forward to playing Warfronts with you.